It was July 21st, 2025. I had just woken up from a good night's rest, and the first thing I decided to do was open up YouTube because I'm a very normal person. However, what I did not expect to see when I was scrolling through YouTube was this. Mediatonic had done the impossible. They'd actually brought back Cosmic Highway and Starchart at the same time. However, it was when someone commented reminding me that I had to complete Starchart and Cosmic Highway backwards, which was definitely a challenge I had not forgotten about. I knew what I had to do. And so, the very next day, when 321 Space made its triumphant return, and this space background that you see behind me also made an appearance, I began the journey. And so, after a few attempts, here is the final recording of me completing Cosmic Highway and Starchart backwards. Our quest for backwards map completion begins in Cosmic Highway, where I got grabbed during a jump by a chicken whom I now have personal beef with. In all seriousness though, our journey truly begins at the end of Cosmic Highway, where the bollards aren't actually attached to the ground. Despite this information, we still made it through this section pretty easily. However, it was the next section which I'd say is the hardest part. Despite this, since I am the parkour-tastic guy, it was a pretty easy section for the hardest part of the map in quotations. However, after this, we have the easiest section, which was just avoiding some punchers. Then after that were some conveyor belts, the beginning section, and wow, we're already done with Cosmic Highway. That was surprisingly easy. Wonder how much easier Starchart will be. It was not easy. Speaking of that map, Starchart was next, and it was surprisingly difficult to do backwards. What I decided to do was that I could not respawn at all, similarly to Tiptoe, because that would be very uncool. Furthermore, if I were to accidentally fall off the map by, for example, getting hit in the face by an asteroid, I respawned in the middle of the map, so I had to go all the way back to the finish line and start again, which was very tiresome. Finally, whilst I was doing this in a squads mode where there's technically an infinite qualification limit, the timer was not playing around for some reason. However, after a shocking amount of attempts, this was my best run. And after all this time, our backwards journey is finally complete. But before we end today's video, I'd like to say one more thing.